Hi guys, welcome. It is Bald TV. Please enjoy these stories in regards to different dating horror stories. Enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.
If you are on these dating apps, or if you're considering downloading a dating app, let me stop you in your tracks, bitch. Because, baby, buckle up for a ride. So I think enough time has passed for me to tell this embarrassing ass story. And before I start, I don't want to hear shit about your judgment. I don't care. I don't care. Okay? So let's get into the story. Download a be okay. I'm thinking, okay, that's all I want to date is a black man. But ever since my dating experience on that app, I think I'm an equal opportunity lover, baby. Okay? Let's start there. So I match with this guy. I go to his profile. His profile is chef's kiss. But the first red flag that stuck out to me was the fact that his daughter was in a lot of his pictures. So I'm like, I come from being a single mom. Like, I come from a single mother, and I am a single mother. So, like, I could respect a man that loves his child. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not sure I would post a picture like that on a dating app of me and my child. But, like, thank you for letting me know you got a kid. The daughter means a lot to you, and that I can tell that, obviously, from her being on your profile. All right, cool. So we get to talking in the DMs or whatever the case may be. The vibes is vibing. Like, he's like, you know what? Like, let me get your number. All right, cool. So we exchange numbers. Second red flag. And I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but it was a green bubble. And I'm like, God damn. Fuck. But I'm looking for love. I'm not looking for a pen pal. I'm not looking for a FaceTime buddy. So, all right, cool. We found out other ways to communicate. So we talking, we vibing. We have so much in common. Number one, we're both Tauruses. Our children are Tauruses. Me and my son are 11 days apart. Him and his daughter are 11 days apart. So we fell in love. Baby, we fell in love, okay? We eat the same foods. He's a chef. I'm a foodie. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. This is the love of my life, okay? And let's talk about it. Face card, never declined. He's handsome. You feel me? I'm like, I could see us doing this. So every day we talking, and we're like finding more synchronicities with each other. We got tons of siblings. Like, it's just so many similarities. Ladies, please do not fall in love with potential, or please do not fall in love based on common interest. I promise you, it's the strangest thing in the world that you could ever do, because there's so many layers to a person outside of like the similarities y'all have that you have to get to know, and I'm going to get into it, okay? I have a hard time with this. So I tend to fall in love with single fathers. My last relationship was with a single father, and I respect men who are able to take their child under their wing and raise them without a woman in the household, especially if it's a girl. So that just gave me like a certain level of respect for him that other men couldn't equate to. You know what I'm saying? So lesson learned, stop falling for these men who are single fathers, because they ain't shit too. Anyway, so back to the story. Here's red flag number 3. He told me he was a sous chef. And I'm like, all right, cool. But when we would text, it was constant communication. So here go my stupid self. I got to Google what a sous chef is. Because I'm like, if you cooking, it's unsanitary to always have your phone in your hand. So I'm like, let me Google what a sous chef is. So I Google what a sous chef is, and basically, like, they're the executive chef in the kitchen that oversee everybody else and make sure, like, the food that's plated is properly done before it goes out to the customer. All right, cool. So I'm like, okay, I could see how he's so expressive and able to answer text messages so fast. Benefit of the doubt. I've never worked in the kitchen. Have you? Okay, so I wasn't thinking that far. But one day, he tells me he's about to start a new job. It's better opportunities. The schedule is better. It's closer to home for him and his daughter. And I'm like, yo, that's perfect. Because he was traveling like 2 hours to commute to work. And I'm like, yo, that's perfect. I know how it is to pick up a kid from elementary school and how much of a struggle it can be for childcare. So I'm like, yeah, like, I'm wishing you the best, praying for you, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. He calls me from the job, and he's like, I have to do all these trainings and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, do what you got to do. He was like, but they playing in my face. They trying to tell me they going to give me a lower wage than what they was going to give me. So I ain't feeling this. So I'm like, all right, let's weigh out the pros and the cons. Mind you, I'm at work. Why are you calling me? But I'm anything for my man. right? Even though he wasn't my man. So I'm like, let me help him figure this out. So we do the pros and the cons, and we like, yo, like, pretty much, what are you gonna do? So I'm like, call me back when you figure out what you're gonna do, because regardless, you're employed. Like, that's all that matters. You got a kid. He calls me back. He ends up at Starbucks. So I'm like, how did you get to Starbucks like that quick? So he was like, oh, whatever. You know him, you know me. I drink coffee all day. That's how I'm able to stay up with these long hours at work. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So he calls me back. He's still at Starbucks. So I'm like, hours later, why are you still at Starbucks? All right, cool, whatever. That's none of my business. So then he calls me like an hour later. He's like, yo, I'm about to go to the studio. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Where's the studio? In Harlem. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, cool. You a rapper. All right, fine. You know, the hustle is there. I see it. I'm a hustler too, baby. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. I get it. Do your big one. But just don't let me hear no whack shit, or we gonna have a problem. So he calls me back that night. I'm asleep. Dead sleep to the world. He was like, yo, I think I'm come see you tomorrow. So I'm like, in my mind, we never met. So I'm like, you're not coming to see me. We're going out to eat or something. You're not getting my address. You're not knowing where I live. Like, this, all of this is cute. But I use my mata, you feel me? I use my brain. So I'm like, oh, let's go out for breakfast. Like, you know, whatever. Let's do something cute. Let's go out for breakfast. You love coffee, right? Let's go have a like nice little cute coffee date. Like, all right, bet. This is where things go awry. I get a strange text message from a number I never saw before, and it was a YouTube link. I'm like, oh, these scammers they're upgrading their tactics, and I'm not with the bullshit. So I didn't open the link. I didn't touch it. I didn't nothing. I get a phone call an hour later. Babe, you saw that text message I sent you? I said, that was you that texted me from that 646 number? I was like, okay, this is the first time I'm hearing of you having two phones. But no, I didn't look at it. So he's like, look at it while we're on the phone. Look at it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I look at the video. This man is on the public MTA, New York City bus, harassing a Caucasian man. Like, trolling in real life, like on the bus. Camera in the man's face on the bus. I said, you know you're black, right? And you know he's Caucasian, right? And you know, I don't think this is funny. You're harassing this man. He like, babe, I'm go viral. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like this. I instantly get scared because now I don't know you. I never knew you, but now I don't know you. So I'm instantly nervous. So now in my mind, oh, I'm never meeting you. I'm never linking you. No breakfast. I don't care if it's daylight savings outside and the sun is at the highest point in the sky. I don't care if it's golden hour. I'm not meeting you nowhere, no place, anytime. That was red flag. I done ran out of the flags. It's turning into the Olympics at this point, right? I think y'all gonna have to look out for part 2 because I'm running out of time. What's up, y'all? It's part 2. I'm not leaving y'all hanging. We gonna drop these things back to back like that. But whatever, let's get back into the story. So remember when I said I went to the studio the night before, he was drinking. All right, cool. So fast forward the next day, I told y'all he texted me from a weird number. All right, cool. I watched the YouTube video, highly disappointed, had to put him in his place, told him about himself because why are you bothering these people on their way to work, sir? Like, what are you doing? Like, when I tell y'all it was bad, he was telling this man he was going to throw coffee on him. Like, I'm telling y'all, trolling him in real life. He like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Fight me? I'll beat your ass. Like, it was bad. I got second-hand embarrassment over the phone from watching it. Mind you, I'm watching it in live time while I'm on the phone with him. And I'm reading him for filth. Yeah. Because you don't do stuff like that around me. I'm not one of the people that condone bullshit. So I'm just like, why would you do that to that man? Anyway, moving forward. So he hangs up. He's like, all right, cool, whatever. It's too much going on where I'm at right now. I'm going to call you back. I bet it is. So time has passed by. Maybe about 10, 15 minutes, he texts me from his actual number. He's like, my phone was dead, so send me your address. I'm like, I'm not sending you my I left him sitting right there because you're not getting my address. So he calls me an hour later. And he's like, yo, why you ain't send me your Addy yet? So I'm like, oh no, because I'm trying to figure out if you're okay. Like, just making an excuse. I'm just trying to make sure you're okay. I don't know why I picked up this man's phone call. I really don't know why. But I had to. I guess I was doing it for the plot. I don't know. I don't know why I picked up. So, when he called me back to get my address or whatever the case may be, he starts arguing with somebody in the background. So I'm like, yo, what's up with you? Like, you all right? So he hang up. He like, yo, I'm about to. Oh my God, I left out a part. The night before, when he called me and he was saying he was on his way home from the studio, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. He was arguing with somebody at the bus stop. He was like, yo, my nigga, stop staring at me before I come over there and really do you. So I'm like, what is going on? So this man is pretty much has anger issues, which is to be expected from a Taurus. So I'm peeping this. Keep in mind. So now he's arguing with somebody in the store. So I'm like, yeah, I don't have time for this. Call me back, whatever we'll do. In my mind, I'm still not meeting you. He don't know that though, whatever. So when we hung up, something was in me was just like, go back to that YouTube video. So I go back to the YouTube video and something tells me to click on his picture. I go to his YouTube page. It's like 4 of them videos of him trolling people all that morning. He gets in the public subway and is putting the phone this close to people's face. And I'm noticing a trend. He's only picking on certain people of a certain community, of a certain race. You know who to play with like that. Because if it was me, I would have called the cops. I would have been a Karen. I would have called the cops. I'm like, yo, what is... So I'm like, yeah, he's off his rocker. He's bonkers. Like, something is wrong. Like, this man has some type of mental something going on. Something. Because this just not making sense. Y'all. He calls me back. This time, another hour later. I'm on the couch just thinking over my actions. And I'm just like, how did you let this happen? How did you let this happen? You've been single for 14 months, on your own, doing your big one, minding your business, drinking your water, losing weight. Why did you let somebody like this into your life? Like, you played. So I'm beating myself up on the couch when he called me. He called me. I'm like, yo, what's up? He like, you still ain't sent me the Addy, whatever. But he like, babe, I got something to tell you. So I'm like, got something to tell me? I'm like, you ain't got nothing to tell me, but whatever. Next thing you know, I hear, hold on. He clicks back over. I'm hearing a third person. So I'm like, is this nigga trying to tell me he's married or something? Because at this point, go back to your wife. I hear a dispatcher say, are you still there? We're sending the vehicle for you now. Some vehicle. So he like, are you going to send me one for my wheelchair? Or why are you sending me a van? Are you sending it for my wheelchair? So I'm like, wheelchair? So he starts laughing. He's like, nah, I'm playing. I said, you've been doing a lot of playing this morning, and I really don't have time for it. So I hear the lady say, all right, the vehicle will be there in a couple minutes, come pick you up. So not only is he trolling me, he's trolling her, he's trolling the people around him, he's yelling at the man at the hot dog stand that he didn't give him his cash, and he trying to play with him, and where's my change? I'm just like, what? What is happening right now? So he gets in the vehicle, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I said, did you just call a rehab facility? He like, yeah, babe, I gotta go to rehab. I got a drinking problem. I can't keep doing this. To myself. I said, keep? I said, so when was you gonna tell me you had a drinking problem? This man gonna say, I told you. No, the fuck you didn't. No, you did not. So I'm like, yo. I said, so you're on your way to rehab right now? He's like, yeah, they coming to get me. You heard the dispatcher say that they coming to get me in 10 minutes. So I'm like, how could you just make an impulsive decision like this? And this is when he told me he'd been had a drinking problem. And that he told me. And I'm like, you didn't tell me that because I wouldn't have talked to you. I promise you I wouldn't have. So we having back and forth banter, back and forth. We just talking at this point. So he's like, babe, I gotta do this for us. We gonna get an apartment. Me, you, his daughter name I ain't gonna say, my son name. I gotta do this for us. I gotta get right for us. We gonna get an apartment together. We gonna live in Harlem. He had this weird obsession with Harlem. Mind you, he's not from Harlem. He's not even from New York. So now I gotta play my part. I gotta play the distraught girlfriend that never met her boyfriend. He's like, yo, you the love of my life. We gonna do this together. I'm doing this for the kids. I'm doing this for us. If I don't take care of myself, how am I gonna be good for y'all? How am I gonna be able to pay all the bills? And I'm just like, babe, why? Why didn't you tell me? I could have helped you. Why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this to us? So this man, he gets in the van. He's bothering the driver. They drive him all the way to Coney Island. He gets out the cab multiple times. He's like, I'm about to get me a Four Loko. I'm going to get me a Mango Rita. I said, you're still drinking? I'm confused. So now I'm mad. Because you're playing in my face. Now I'm mad. So now this is insanement for me. Now I'm mad. So I'm like, why would you be drinking? I thought you was trying to get better for us. What happened? He's like, if I'm going to rehab, why? If I'm going to rehab, I might as well get it out my system. So I'm like, your way of thinking is crazy. That's like me saying, let me binge my food before I go on a weight loss journey. That don't make sense. Like, just stop. It's a problem at this point. Just stop. So he's like, I'm like, yo, who else knows about this? I can't be the only one who has this information, this pertinent information. I cannot be the only person with this information. Who else knows about this? I said, where's your mother? Where's your sisters? Where these 15 sisters you claim you got? Where's these people at? So he dials in his mama. Mind you, never met the man, but I'm on the phone with his mama. I'm doing better than I have been in a lot of relationships that I was actually in. I met the nigga mama over the phone before we even met. So in that regard, baby, he was doing something, but whatever. So he calls his mother and she's like, she calls him his nickname. Why do you keep doing this to yourself? I'm like, oh, this nigga really got a problem. I bet, cool. So I explained the situation to his mother. She starts breaking down a bunch of stuff. The daughter don't live with him. Haven't lived with him in the past 2 years. She all the way in a whole nother state. I'm just like, what? Everything is a lie? Everything is a lie. So I'm running out of time again. And when I tell you, the story is not over yet. He turns up. He turns it up 15 more notches. Okay? Yeah. I see y'all in part 3. All right, y'all. This is part 3 of Who the F Did I Almost Link? BLK online dating app horror story. I told y'all he is going to the facility. He finally gets dropped off. So every time he hangs up with me, I'm just getting the inkling to like look into this man. So I pay like $10 to do a background research on him because at this point I'm hearing too much red flags and I'm just curious to see what this man's background is like between the things that I've heard from his mom, which I'm about to tell you, and the energy and his actions that he's displaying over the phone. So I can only imagine what FaceTime would have been like if this man would have had an iPhone. But like I told y'all, he got Android. So stick with me. The cab driver drops him off at the facility, and now he's having second thoughts. So, baby, you're not going to have no second thoughts with me on this phone after I done heard all this foolishness that you've been doing. So, no, you're going to the place. You're going. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So now I'm using the whole family ploy thing to him. Like, oh, yeah, you got to do this for us. You got to do this for your family. We love you. We want you to be good. We want you to be safe. We want you to take care of yourself. We don't want you to have any problems. So when we move into this apartment, you'll be okay. All right? So I'm using that. I'm using that to my advantage, and it's kind of like working. So he's like, all right, babe, you know what? You're right. I'm just going to stay here for a few minutes. I'm about to go inside now. Let me figure it out. So he hangs up. So I call his mom. I give his mother the update. I'm like, you know what? Let me pick this lady brain because now I need the tea. So now she's telling me how he has no custody of his daughter. He hasn't had custody of his daughter in the last 2 years. And I'm like, okay. So then she also tells me that he just recently got out of the hospital. I'm like, Strangely enough, he's always telling me he's at work. She's like, oh no, he doesn't have a job. He's been in the hospital for months. He has cysts on his brain, spots on his liver. It's a whole lot of going on. Eyes was yellow, skin yellow, jaundice kind of thing going on. I'm like, oh. So his liver is fried, is what you're telling me from this drinking. Because when he was in that car, he told me he had a full bottle of Tito's, a full bottle of Casamigos, and some other stuff in between. And I'm like, you mean you share this with the people at the studio? He's like, no. I drunk this all by myself, which is why I need to check into rehab because I have a problem. I said, oh, you have a problem? Problem. Interesting. So let's go back to the conversation I had with his mom. So she's like, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if his time living in Far Rockaway when he had a friend that passed away, if he didn't try every drug in the book. I'm like, oh, so she was like, yeah, anything. I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't try it. And I'm like, wow, okay. Addictive personality. I see. Okay, cool. So we hang up. I give her the update. Okay, he went into rehab. Hopefully he'll be contacting you soon because I'm done. I have a son. This is too much for me. This is too much for you, apparently, because you done gave up and relinquished your rights a long time ago, baby. So I feel you on that. So he gets to the rehab. I get a phone call from the rehab. I pick up. I don't know why I'm still picking up phone calls at this point, but I pick up. And I'm hearing a bunch of screaming, commotion, yelling. Why the F would y'all send me all the way to Coney Island if y'all wasn't going to take me, if y'all ain't have no more intakes for the day? Y'all knew what time I called the cab, why the cab took this long to get here, and I get here and y'all telling me y'all can't take me to tomorrow. So I'm drunk right now. Like, this is why I'm here, because I got a problem. Y'all sending me away. So I'm trying to calm him down. He's like, you know what? Speak to my wife. Clutching my imaginary pearls, because who is your wife? Not me. Not I, sir. So I get on the phone with the intake nurse. She's like, listen, we cannot take him. It's after hours. He can come back tomorrow. We can send him to a place to detox overnight, and then he could come back tomorrow. But as of right now, we cannot take him. So I'm trying to explain this to him. He don't want to hear nothing. So I'm hearing him yelling at the security guard, like, what are you looking at? You want me to F you up and all of this? So I'm like, oh, my God, now he's about to fight security. So they trying to calm him down. And I'm like, it's a lot going on. So y'all call me when y'all figure that out. That is not my husband. Stop calling him my husband. And y'all figure that out. But I'm hanging up. So I hung up. About 20 minutes later, I get a call from the person that oversees, like, the intake nurses, the head nurse. And he's like, oh, we're calling the cops to have him apprehended because he has physically attacked our security guard and has chased him around a parked car. I said, oh yeah, this is far beyond my reach. I said, once again, I'm not his wife. I have no affiliation with that man. Stop calling me. Yeah, I'm done. So upon looking this man up, I never got the chance to, like, fully get the full report on him. I paid the whole $10, the whole shebang, because I wanted the tea, okay? And what these calls going back and forth, like, it was just too much going on that I didn't even care about the report no more. But I'm pretty sure, like, there was some type of, like, violence on there because this man is apparently violent. So they kick him out. I get a phone call a few hours later from a local supermarket in the area. I don't got nowhere to go tonight. They put me out. They called the cops. I had to leave. Whoop-de-whoop. I'm like, yeah, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. So you need to find somewhere to go tonight or whatever. I'm like, that hotel you called me from, go back to that hotel. Go back for the night because you spent your money already. Like, go figure out your way there. I get a phone call the next morning. I hear doop, doop, doop in the back. So I'm like, okay, he's at the hospital. He's safe. All right, cool. So we recalling all the details from the day before. And he's like, well, I said that. What? Oh, my God. I'm like, yeah, I spoke to your mom. She gave me the tea. He's like, damn, she just put all my business on Front Street. You didn't put all your business on Front Street. So somebody had to do it. So now I'm telling him, like, I'm not even mad, but we can just be, we could just go about our separate ways. Like, this is done. This is a lot for me. A person with a kid, like, you should have more respect for the fact that I have a child and to put me in a situation like this. And now he's like, oh, you're kicking me when I'm down and everybody always leaves me and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And I said, oh, you're not going to gaslight me into staying into the situation. You're absolutely out of your mind and you must still be drunk. I said, I'm not doing this with you. I'm sorry. I really do apologize, but I'm going to be like those other women and I'm going to leave. His mom calls me a few days later. Fast forward, his mom calls me a few days later. And she's like, remember all the things I said about him trying different drugs? Like, I don't know that for sure. That's just things that I've heard. I said, oh, you're not going to gaslight me as well. He must have called you, chewed you up, and spit you out. And now you want to call and do damage control. It's not happening over here, sis. You yourself told me to leave your son alone. And that's exactly what I intend on doing. So why are you calling me? Maybe about 2 days later, I get a phone call from him. Blocked. A voice message. Alexis, I miss you, girl. Pick up the phone. Call me back. All right, one. This is by far the craziest experience I've ever had with someone that I've never met before. This was a lot. This was a lot. And if he sees this video, I pray he got the help he needed. But stay far away from me, baby. I don't want no parts. Okay? I don't want no parts. But if y'all want more stories like this, because I got a few of them, and if I'm willing to tell and I'm willing to share, we'll probably get into it. But yeah, ladies, do not fall in love with potential. Was I in love? Obviously not. I didn't know the man. I never met him. But yeah, this is my life. And yes, I deleted the app. And you should too. Okay? Bye.
One time I was talking to this guy on Bumble and he wanted to go on a first date and he wanted to go on a hike. And I know that's like a new thing now that people want to go on a hike and don't want to get a drink, don't want to do that. I was like, okay, that's fine. But I don't want to go on a hike. I don't want to go in the middle of nowhere in the woods with someone that I don't know. I was like, well, how about a park or something? He's like, no, I want to go on a hike. And I was like, okay, you're going to go on a hike by yourself then. I'm not going into the woods or into the middle of nowhere with someone I don't even know, sir. And he was like, all right, well, we can go for a drive then. I'm like, I don't want to go for a drive. If I didn't want to go on a hike, I don't want to go for a drive. I do not want to be alone with you, sir. That is not what we're going to do on a first date. Hello, people are crazy. So then he was like super pushy about it and I thought that was weird. And then he was like, well, that's fine. We can go to this park then. I'll pick you up. What's your address? And I was like, absolutely not. I'm not giving you my address. You're a stranger. And he was like, why? I want to be a gentleman. Why won't you let me pick you up? And I was like, you can be a gentleman in a million ways and you being super pushy right now is not the way to be a gentleman. I am not giving you my address. And he was like super aggressive about it. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to block you. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. So I blocked him on Bumble. Now, he didn't have my full name. He didn't have my phone number. All of a sudden I get this Facebook message and he was like, hey, sorry, I'm in the CVS parking lot. Someone pulled up next to me. He was like, hey, why did you block me? And I was like, bro, this is why I blocked you. First of all, you are super aggressive. You want to meet in the middle of nowhere. Second of all, you want my address. You're like, want to pick me up, whatever. And now you found me on Facebook. I do not know how. Like, I blocked you and unless you had my images saved and then you Google image search me after, like, why did you even have my picture? Like, how could you even find me after Bumble? So then I blocked him on Facebook and he finds me on Instagram. And I was like, bro, you are boo, 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 like setting off all sorts of alarms. So then I got back on Bumble and I like reported him to Bumble and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. He seems super creepy. He's super pushy about a first date. He wants to meet a first date in the middle of nowhere. He wants to meet in the woods. He wants to go for a drive, whatever. Now he's found me on all of these different forms of social media. So I blocked him. I blocked him here. I blocked him on all forms of social media that I can. And then I didn't hear from him again, but I was like, this is a little sketchy. So I have the guy's like information and I am always like watching the news to see if maybe he pops up as like a serial killer or something. But I think I might post him on one of those Are We Dating the Same Guys and just be like, hey, alert, alarms, like watch out for this dude because he wants to meet you in the middle of nowhere, wants your address, and then he gets really angry if you don't give it to him.
What would you do if a guy asked you out on a romantic date and then arrived 2 hours late with 4 of his friends? Oh, but it's worse than that. Just brace yourself. So I'm dating this guy for about 3 weeks, and I think it's really important to mention the fact that he's Saudi Arabian because maybe this is customary in that culture. Saudi, Middle Eastern people, please let me know in the comments. So 3 weeks into us dating, he invites me out for a romantic dinner at Nobu. And us girls know if a man is taking you to Nobu, he's gonna ask you to be his girlfriend. Anyway, I'm preparing for this date like it is my freaking coronation. Like, I bought a dress, I bought new hair extensions, I got my nails done. I was so excited. Then I was even less excited when on the evening of the date, he texts me and tells me that he is going to be 2 hours late because unexpectedly his friends flew in from Saudi Arabia. And one thing you gotta know about me is that I try so hard to be a cool girl because I don't want to be like those other girls. I'm a little bit of a pick-me. So I get to the place, I sit at the bar, and I'm waiting for about an hour. And he's just pushing the time back further and further. He tells me that his friends are like super excited to see him, and who am I to say no? Eventually he's on his way and I say, okay, I'm gonna go up to the hostess stand and I'm gonna go get her table. So I go up to the hostess and I say, so-and-so has a reservation tonight. And the lady looks at me like I literally have 3 heads. And I'm like, oh cool, I guess this night was so important to him that he completely forgot to make a reservation. But thankfully she did have a table open up in like the lounge area, but the only thing that sucked was that the whole menu wasn't available there, but whatever. At this point my self-worth was so low, I was like, who cares? So I go to sit down at the table and I finally get a text message that he is walking through the door. And I'm kind of excited because I'm going to finally get to meet his friends. And that's not what happens. In he comes with 4 gorgeous Saudi women. Oh, and there was actually a fifth one, some like random Ukrainian chick. Now that I look back on it, he did talk about a Ukrainian coworker having a crush on him, so I'm just gonna assume that that was her. But yeah, I just decided that I was gonna handle things as calmly from that point on, so I got up, I started screaming and crying, and I caused a scene in front of the entire restaurant, and then I called myself an Uber. And I had this crazy maniacal look on my face, like my mascara was streaming down my face, but I was smiling because I knew that I was gonna deliver the best line of my life as soon as he brought me to the Uber. He brings me to the Uber, I look at him, and with my tear-stained eyes, I say, I will never speak to you again. And I get in the Uber, and what do? I text him the next day. Anyway, what would you do if that happened to you?
I'm so shocked right now. Okay, I already gave up the dating apps, but just let this be a warning to everyone out there who's still on them. Don't trust anybody. I know that sounds crazy and a little cynical, a lot cynical, but I've now had way too many experiences where I just think it's too easy to be this ideal person on those apps. And so many women get caught in these kind of traps where you're already 5-6 dates in and then they reveal their true colors and it's not what you signed up for. So I dated a guy last November and I really liked him. He was he was engaged like 6 months prior. And that's when they broke off their engagement like 6 months before we started dating. So he'd had some time to kind of like heal and reflect. And he told me he was in therapy now still. They dated for a long time. So I kind of was like proceeding with caution because I knew, okay, there's no way this man is just fully healed and ready for a serious relationship again, which is what I'm looking for. But we got along really well. He was super funny, really cute. We just had so much in common. He was so chivalrous. I don't know, he just did everything right. But in the back of my head, I was kind of like, okay, this is going almost too well, you know? So I had doubts, but not really any proof to back it up. We went on 4 dates, and after the 4th date, I could just feel he was a little bit more distant, and I saw that he was still on all the apps. And like, I mean all the apps. He was on like 4 different dating apps. So I just told him, hey, you know, it's been really nice getting to know you. I think we're looking for different things here. And I'm just going to take a step back. And he just didn't respond. I sent like a nice message, but I just like, I wasn't getting what I needed back. A few months later, I see him on Raya, or he sees me on Raya, and he messages me and is like, hey, I'm so sorry about the way things ended, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't in a great place. Hope you're doing well. Kind of hinting that he wanted to see me. And I was just like, wish you the best. I'm so sorry you were going through a hard time and I hope it's better now. But, you know, don't bring me into your mess. I had posted him in this group. I won't reveal the group, but the girls that know. It's a confidential group of women that you can post somebody and see if anyone's had negative dating experiences. It's mostly for like, you know, dangerous guys or like guys with girlfriends, those kind of dudes. So I'd posted him when we started dating and I didn't really hear anything. Months later, I get a message. And I'm just like trying to keep my cool and I'm like, it's fine, let's talk about this another time. Like, you go and enjoy. I gotta go home. Like, he knows something's like really wrong and he keeps trying to be like, oh, I really like you. Like, I really like you. That's not a reflection of like me and how I act. Like, I'm really embarrassed. And I was like, you know, like the people you hang around, like you are who you surround yourself with. And it was just like a little surprising to see that kind of behavior and see how they talk about women. Like, I don't want to get into it. I want you to have a good night, but I just like, I need to leave. And there wasn't really much to be said. And he was just like, yeah, like, oh my God, well, you're going to be getting like an apology text tomorrow and blah, blah, blah. Like, I know you're going to like really overthink this. And then tomorrow I'm going to get a text. And I was like, no, like, trust me, you won't hear from me. Like, and I said that nicely, but he has no idea. You will not hear from me. Like, not. Yeah, it's that what happened 2 nights ago, Friday night, and I haven't heard from him. I won't be texting him. I've decided that if I don't hear from him today, I'm just gonna block him because I don't think I owe him an explanation. Like, that was, and I think I gave him like what I could. I'm not his mom. I'm not any of their mothers. I don't feel the need to educate him or them on how to behave and talk to women. It's really disappointing that there are people that are still doing that. And, all I can do is personally not be part of that. I can't change people and how they act and what they say and do. So I'm just going to remove myself, and that's it. It was just pretty shocking because I've been dating this person for, yeah, like I said, like 6-ish weeks and really building on something. It seemed like we were maybe going to go to that boyfriend girlfriend territory. He told me like the date before that he wanted to be exclusive, all this stuff. And I have never, ever made a decision so quickly and so clearly. I mean, I was so wrong about this person. It's just crazy that you can present as one person on the apps and one-on-one on these dates, and then when you see them in their true environment, just get a completely different impression, which is what happened. Unfortunately, I think that he is pretty insecure and is looking for just constant validation from his friends and maybe just doesn't like to spend time alone. So that's why he's just constantly with them and doing all these crazy things. And they're maybe in similar headspaces. Like, I don't want to be judgmental of the people they are, because I don't think what they were saying and doing is truly who they are. But that kind of behavior is just unacceptable to me. Big no. So at this point, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, who am I dating? Because the person that I have been spending time with one-on-one is so sweet, really thoughtful, really respectful. And the person that I'm seeing right now and the friends that are closest to him are absolute douchebags, bros, like no respect for women. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Gets worse. So I look over, the guy I'm dating's next to me and his best friend's on the other side. One of their other friends start talking to someone, and the whole group is like talking about this girl, and it's like going on and on about, oh, like she's so hot. Oh my God, dude, he should totally bag her tonight. Like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and I look at the guy I'm dating and I'm like, I feel like this is a boys' night. Maybe I just shouldn't be here. I don't, I'm just like, he's like, no, you're fine. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom. I run to the bathroom and I'm trying to think, how do I get out of here? Like, this is so bad. I'm never seeing this man again. This is so over. It's insane. This is not how these are not people I would ever want to surround myself with, and an environment either. I don't go to clubs. I don't live that lifestyle. I don't like to be surrounded by that. And it seems like he does. He's doing that almost every weekend, and he's downplayed it in such a good way. And now everything's clicking. Like, this is his lifestyle. He likes to go to a club and be seen with his friends and like get hit on by girls and, like be this person that he can be in that setting only. Like, it's insane. And he cares so much about what his friends think. So I'm like, red flag. How do I get out? I can't find the fucking bathroom. I go back upstairs. I see the group. His best friend's leaving. His best friend's like, looks me up and down, literally like, hey, gorgeous, where you going? And I'm like, I like push past him, like, hey, I get back to the group. The other friend is in like a adjacent circle talking to a girl. No, he's not even talking to her. He's humping a girl while she's not looking, like leg humping, whatever, and looking at the group going, and all the group's like snickering. And I'm like, no. So I tell this guy, like, turns to me, he's like, hey, is everything okay? And I'm like, no, honestly, it's not okay. I'm gonna go home. This is just not my lifestyle. This is not my environment. I need to go home. And he realizes something's like really wrong. And he's like, oh my God, what's wrong? And I'm like, your friends done and said some things that were a little unexpected and just like a little uncomfortable. So I'm gonna go home. He walks me out and I kind of tell him what happened, and he's so embarrassed. He's like, oh my God, that's them. That's not me. Okay, so my dude's like on his phone being like, and he has his phone, like this is his phone. And I'm like in the middle of the group awkwardly. I don't know anyone. And he's like, dude, Jeremiah's coming through. He's coming through. Ah, look how many texts I sent. Like the douchiest persona. And I'm like, who is this? Like, also, I'm like there to meet his friends. He like was begging me to come. Barely said 2 words to me. I'm like standing in the circle, like, okay, and I'm like trying to talk to his friends. They're like being nice enough. Nothing's like wrong yet. His best friend, best friend. I'm like next to him, and the guy that I'm dating kind of like turns around and says something, and I'm like, oh, like tell me an embarrassing story of said guy to his best friend. And his best friend's like, oh, okay. And then the guy that I'm dating kind of turns back around. And he's back to like coordinating on his phone, like, what the fuck, getting the boys there, whatever. And he's like, okay, so like the last time we're here, I was like trying to hook up with this like Dominican chick, like, oh, she was so fucking fine. Oh my God. And I like tried to hook up with her, and then like, I ended up leaving with another chick, and I was with another chick, and I saw this chick come out, and I was like, you know what? Let me shoot my shot. Like literally that's how he's talking. And then he goes on to tell me this story about how he was hooking up with another girl, but then went for the Dominican chick, got her, I guess, went home with the other girl. Like some crazy story about hooking up with chicks, and was speaking about them in such derogatory ways. Like, oh yeah, he tells me that's the night that he saw the biggest boobs of his life. And I'm going, what's going on? I met this guy 2 weekends ago with his girlfriend, who was so sweet. I thought like, oh, this is so great. This is the guy I'm dating. It's his best friend. We're supposed to go on these double dates. And this guy is a total douchebag. And I'm thinking like, if he's talking to me like this, how the hell does he talk to the guy that I'm dating? How do they talk to each other? Like, this is bad. This is bad. And I'm trying not to freak out. And then I meet more of his other friends. And one of his other friends starts talking to me, and he's like kind of talking, blah, blah, blah. Then he talks to his other friend in Spanish. And he's saying stuff about like how I look, like, oh, she's so pretty, blah, blah, blah. She's super fucking hot. Like, rah, rah. Like, it's not too inappropriate, but like I can understand. So I was like, oh, hi, like I'm right here trying to like hint that I can understand. And he looks at me and he goes, you're beautiful. You have beautiful eyes, in Spanish. And I'm like, is this guy fucking hitting on me? The guy that I'm dating, who's one of his best friends, is next to me on his phone, distracted, whatever. And I'm like, what is going on right now? Fuck, I think I need I need a part 3. I'm so sorry.
I went on a date last night, and the guy said something so offensive that I got up and walked out in the middle of the date. I've actually never done that before. Like, I've never just fully stood up and left and said, leave me alone in the middle of a date. But there's a first time for everything. I still can't fully believe that this happened. So we went to go get drinks and appetizers. And this all happened at like minute 24. So we had drinks, but no food. We'd like just started talking. I knew pretty early on in the date that I wasn't that into him, but I still try to keep an open mind if I go on a date and like within the first 10 minutes, I'm like, this is probably not someone I would date. Because you never know. Sometimes people are just nervous and they take a second to open up. But generally speaking, I just was not feeling it. But we're just making conversation, and we start talking about like what we like to do on the weekends. And he's like, oh, I like to go to church. And he says, you're Jewish, right? Because on my profile where we matched, it said that I'm Jewish, because I am. But he said it really loudly, and we were in public. He was like, oh, you're Jewish, right? And just generally, with the culture of how things are right now, I don't tend to like scream that I'm Jewish in public places, because people are insane. So I kind of made a joke and was like, I am, but I don't tend to like scream it in public places. Very lighthearted, just kind of poking fun at the fact that he had like said it quite loudly. He proceeded to spew the most anti-Semitic, offensive bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Like, in this monologue, the phrase, I would be embarrassed to be a Jew, came out of his mouth. So I don't really know where he got the audacity or why he went out with me if he hates Jewish people, because he literally knew that I was Jewish, or if he just wanted an opportunity to say a bunch of anti-Semitic bullshit to a Jewish person. Not really sure what he was getting at there, but I got up and left because I have zero tolerance for that. So that was a first. As I was walking away, he was like, let me know if you want to play pickleball sometime. I was like, what part of me, like literally leaving this date 27 minutes in, makes you think that I want to play pickleball with you? Like, actually go fuck yourself. So yeah, I don't even know what to say. Normally my stories have some kind of lesson at the end where I'm like, but then I learned, but I'm like just really angry about this one. So, see ya.
Just when you thought this dating shit couldn't get any worse, it does. Stand by for this one. So this is a few years back when Fortnite was like kind of new, kind of not. My roommate at the time got me into it. Well, over the course of a few months, there was some hot chick gamer girl that played with me and my roommate every night. Fortnite. I've never used a dating website in my life, but this was the closest it came to it. We got really close. We added each other on Instagram, exchanged numbers eventually. Then it started to get really fucking weird. She would want me to fall asleep on stream with her. She was a Twitch streamer also. And if I was going to bed, we had a 2-hour time difference. She wanted me to go in her stream and fall asleep so she could see my name in there at all times. Then she started asking me to take pictures of my odometer in my car when I told her I was going to the grocery store and shit. And I had to send her a selfie out front of the store so she knew I was where I said I was. This is weird for someone you never met. Well, my roommate and her, they're friends as well because we all play Fortnite together. He doesn't know the extent of our relationship. I'm kind of pulling away at this point until it was my birthday. I get a knock on the door at 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck? I open the door and it's her standing there with one single red balloon saying singing happy birthday out loud to me. My roommate comes busting out of his room with a cake and candles on it, Fortnite cake, and they sung happy birthday to me. Well, apparently he thought it was in my best interest that he invites this girl from South Dakota to our house in California to celebrate my birthday. Weird as fuck. It gets even weirder. Stand by. So we end up all hanging out throughout the day. Me and her go out to eat. I have to go to work at 5 p.m. I go to work. I come home the very next morning at around 5 a.m. And he has her over the kitchen sink, over the kitchen counter, doing you know what. I'm like, what the F is going on? They're getting it on in the kitchen of my apartment. And he flew her out for my birthday. Well, I let it go. I don't know her that well. He starts posting pictures of her and him on his Instagram. Within 3 days of her being in California, one of her family members reach out, specifically her auntie, reaches out to my roommate and says, you know that's your cousin, right? That's his cousin the whole time. And it gets even crazier, the fact that she knew the entire time that my roommate was her cousin and didn't tell him. Dating is not for me, TikTok.
Okay, so here's one of my first date nightmares, okay? This is a true story. So this girl invites me over, right? She says, you want to come to my place? I'm going to cook. We're going to eat. Awesome. I love to eat. Sure, I'll show up. Knock on the door. She opens the door. What am I greeted with? A really, really bad stench. Okay, I don't pay that too much mind. She's pretty hot. We're going to keep pushing forward with this. Okay, so I get in there and I realize that the smell is ammonia. She's got like 6 cats. She didn't tell me she had a cat. But all right, we'll let it go. She's pretty good looking. Okay. So we sit down at the table and start having dinner, right? We're hitting it off. We're talking, drinking some beers, smelling cat piss, whatever. She cooked pasta. I was eating pasta. And so in the middle of eating, this cat jumps up on the dinner table. Okay. I look over at the cat. Just jumped up on the dinner table. I look over at the cat. I look back at her. She didn't miss a beat. Kept talking. So obviously this is the norm. That's kind of weird. But I'm just going to let it go, okay? Because she's pretty good looking. All right, so the cat walks by me. It's facing her now. Its asshole is facing me. Its asshole is 6 inches away from my fucking plate. 6 inches. The cat's asshole is right next to my plate. So at this point, I'm questioning the cleanliness of the utensil I'm using, the food itself, the plate, the chair I'm sitting in, everything. I'm thinking, damn, this bitch is fucking nasty. Okay. Anyway, so I grabbed the cat and I put it on the floor. And I said, the cat's ass was right next to my plate. You know, it's fucking nasty or whatever. And she goes, oh, dude, my cats are family. Don't treat my cats like that. My cats are family. Okay, so make a long story short, we end up going to her bedroom. We did the deed. I spent the night, woke up with the worst pink eye you've ever seen in your life. I had to go to the doctor twice.
I figured I would tell this dating story while my makeup is still on, but y'all, this is the best one. Well, it's tied. If you're an OG follower from my first original page, then you guys will remember this story because I got on live leaving his house. So this is the guy that took me to California Pizza Kitchen and didn't order anything on the first date, right? I wasn't upset because he knows I love butter cakes, so whatever. Also, he was a little musty because he had just come from the gym. I don't understand why he didn't take a shower or change the clothes. Anyway, he had come to my house before, and this was like our second date, so I was like, all right, whatever, it's time to go to his house. So he invited me over to his house one night, and I was doing my blowout, my silk press, and he was rushing me through the silk press, so I was considering not even doing my baby hair. I get there, he don't like the way I parked. I got to repark 3 times, and then finally he goes, let me do it for you. So then we go inside. He's cooking sweet potatoes, by the way. He's like, these are my favorite thing to cook is roasted sweet potatoes. I look at them sweet potatoes, half of them burnt because he didn't chop them up in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. So he didn't learn to cut symmetrically from Gordon Ramsay or his mother, but that's neither here nor there. Also, he had 2 roommates, 2, so that means 3 people in a 2-bedroom house. You 34 years old and you're a structural engineer. Why you got 2 roommates? They had a sheet separating the bedroom. So he have his mattress on the floor with an airplane blanket on a mattress. And then on the other side is his friend's room. Let's go back to the food for a second because he was eating this really large bowl of salad and he had it underneath his arm like a football and was eating it like this. And it was really strong smell of vinaigrette and he kept asking me to kiss him. And I was like, nah, man, I'm not about to kiss you while you're eating the salad. And he was like really forceful about it. And I was like, no, fam. He goes, I want to watch a movie with you. I'm like, okay, but I'm looking around. Ain't no TV. How y'all is 3 people and nobody got a TV? Okay. So he goes, let me go and get my Dell computer. He opened up the Dell computer. This is the part that everybody remembers. He has like a million icons all over his home screen and I'm immediately stressed out. I'm like, bro, just close the Dell. He's opening the internet browser and he's like, I think it's a little too late to ask my brother for his Netflix password. So he looks at me like, bitch, you gonna give me your Netflix password? I'm looking at him like, oh no, you got me fucked up. So he turns on a free Amazon movie, y'all. It was like a Roman movie and I wasn't feeling it. I'm like, can we at least pay for a movie? He paid $3 for the Taraji P. Henson movie where she can hear men's thoughts. So I'm on the mattress with the airplane blanket on the floor on his side of the room watching this Taraji P. Henson movie with the Dell computer and his phone goes off because it's his bedtime, so he kicks me out.
A man left me at a bar after he found out I slept with a black man. So I met this guy online and we decided that we were going to go on a date. We were only talking for a couple days, but it was going well. And I was like, hey, it's Sunday. What are you up to today? You want to watch some football? We'll get a drink. And he was like, yeah, for sure. So we met at a bar. We're hanging out. I am not one that's like, how many people have you slept with? What's your number? Blah. We're fucking adults. I could care. Are you clean? I don't like, why is this still, it isn't a thing. But we were watching football, which led into a conversation about someone that I had slept with. And so we were talking about it and he was like, what? And I was like, put back a little bit. And I was like, what do you mean what? And he was like, he's black. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking aware. So I was a little put off by it, but then he got like super intense and he was like, you fucked a black man? And I was like, sir. Like he turned into like an exorcist. I was like, what? What? And to be fair, at this point, the date was over for me, but I was like, what is wrong with you? And he like went into this whole big thing about, I'm not even going to repeat all the shit that he said about like being dirty and all that. And I was like, what is wrong? So this is where I started to plan my exit. And I was like, okay, how am I going to get out of here? I can't freaking sit here with this guy anymore. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Now, I drove myself, so I full on planned on whatever, leaving by myself anyway. But I was like, okay, I'm trying not to ghost people or be like a crazy person. He had my phone number, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I come back out, he was gone. I was like, that worked out fucking perfect. So I sat at the bar for the rest of the time. I met the bartender. Her name was Tara. We had a great time. And what in the actual fuck is dating?
I went on a date last night and the guy said something so offensive that I got up and walked out in the middle of the date. I've actually never done that before. Like I've never just fully stood up and left and said, leave me alone in the middle of a date. But there's a first time for everything. I still can't fully believe that this happened. So we went to go get drinks and appetizers. And this all happened at like minute 24. So we had drinks, but no food. We'd like just started talking. I knew pretty early on in the date that I wasn't that into him, but I still try to keep an open mind if I go on a date and like within the first 10 minutes, I'm like, this is probably not someone I would date. Because you never know. Sometimes people are just nervous and they take a second to open up. But generally speaking, I just was not feeling it. But we're just making conversation and we start talking about like what we like to do on the weekends. And he's like, oh, I like to go to church. And he says, you're Jewish, right? Because on my profile where we matched, it said that I'm Jewish because I am. But he said it really loudly and we were in public. He was like, oh, you're Jewish, right? And just generally with the culture of how things are right now, I don't tend to like scream that I'm Jewish in public places because people are insane. So I kind of made a joke and was like, I am, but I don't tend to like scream it in public places. Very lighthearted, just kind of poking fun at the fact that he had like said it quite loudly. He proceeded to spew the most anti-Semitic, offensive bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Like in this monologue, the phrase, I would be embarrassed to be a Jew came out of his mouth. So I don't really know where he got the audacity or why he went out with me if he hates Jewish people because he literally knew that I was Jewish, or if he just wanted an opportunity to say a bunch of anti-Semitic bullshit to a Jewish person. Not really sure what he was getting at there, but I got up and left because I have zero tolerance for that. So that was a first. As I was walking away, he was like, let me know if you want to play pickleball sometime. I was like, what part of me like literally leaving this date 27 minutes in makes you think that I want to play pickleball with you? Like actually go fuck yourself. So yeah, I don't even know what to say. Normally my stories have some kind of lesson at the end where I'm like, but then I learned, but I'm like just really angry about this one. So see ya.
So I usually don't do story times, but lately I feel like my life has just been going in such a goofy direction that like I think it's time, man. I think it's truly time that I need to tell my side of the story of how Atlanta dating has just been treating me lately. And before I disclose this information, no, I'm not saying no names. No, I'm not telling you who the people are. I will never ever expose these people. But if this ever grace they For You page, just know, yes, I'm talking about you. So first thing first, one thing I notice about dating in ATL is I ain't gonna say do not, but for me, I can't date single mothers. Single mothers is one of them type of vibes where it's like, in the beginning, it's super cool. They super cool people. They super genuine people. But the last 3 single moms that I took on dates all asked me for money at the end of the date. And I'm talking about like, not just on some regular, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me just hold a little something. I'm talking about astronomical numbers. Date number 1. So, shorty, she's from Detroit. She got a daughter, she cool as hell, like, just smooth, you know what I'm saying? Like, dumb, smooth little vibe, super, super cute. Fine for real, I ain't even gonna lie. So, I had ended up getting her number outside this little event that I got invited to. And she was a little hard to get, but, you know what I'm saying? It was worth it because, you feel me, she was fine as hell. We ended up going on a date. You feel me? I'm not going to disclose the place because, you know, it's going to get too specific. But we want to go into a little date. And we do our thing. We grab drinks there. We eating food or whatever. And everything is cool. I'm getting to know her. We talking about life, the way we was raised. Just like all type of cool shit. And then afterwards, we end up going to another little lounge. You know what I'm saying? Because she wanted to smoke. So, you know what I'm saying? Went to a lounge. Went to go smoke. We went there, chilled, vibe. Did the whole 9 yards. It was cool, I promise you. It was smooth, like super smooth, like great date. Afterwards, it's like, fuck it, we lit. It's probably like 3, maybe 4 in the morning around this time. It's late. We slide back to her crib. She realized that she ain't got no roll up. So I was like, fuck it, let's go to the gas station. Let's go grab you something to roll up in, you know what I'm saying? Because, you feel me, I just want the night to continue. Like, I just want to keep vibing with you because, you know, I'm just fucking with everything. Take her to the gas station, grab her some snacks, grab her some backwoods, you feel me? And, you know, everything's smooth. We go back to her spot, and I'm like, shit, like, what's good? Like, what you on? She was like, I mean, shit, we can go back into the crib. I'm like, yeah, show me a little tour, you feel me? Like, I ain't never been in there. I'm on my little corny shit. She like, oh yeah, come on, you come inside, it's cool. Bet. We go inside the crib, and the crib is cool, you know what I'm saying? Nice little spot. From the outside, it looked like the ghetto. But on the inside, it was actually super smooth, for real. I ain't even gonna lie. So we in there, we chilling. We end up going to a room, we chilling on the bed or whatever. And she playing music. You know, playing music, Ride Wave, it be a young boy, you know, just regular shit. And it was going cool. So she ended up smoking. We laying down, we vibing, you know. At some point, you feel me, we start, you feel me, kissing and touching, you feel me? So now, this where it get crazy. So we kissing, we touching or whatever, and you feel me, we getting into it. I'm talking about it's getting deep. She ended up climbing on top of me. And you know when you somebody on top of you, just kind of like rubbing on them, you grabbing on them, like kind of, you feel me, grab her ass a little bit. And she like, no, like, and I'm like, oh, I know what this is about. I already know what she finna say. She like, no, we can't do it. I'm on my period. I'm like, alright, well, shoot, like, that's cool, like, whatever. But then the liquor start beating my ass. I'm talking about it's whooping me. And I'm just like, man, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm horny as fuck. I'm bricked up in this bitch. So I'm like, shit, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, I don't even care. I'll run a red light. Like, you bad as hell. We ain't even gotta tell nobody, like, shit. Like, so she like, nah, like, I ain't never did nothing like that before. Like, I ain't never read no red light. And it's our first time, like, really kicking it for real. Like, I can't do that. I'm like, yeah, I respect it. You right. But I'm just sitting there chilling, and she still laying on top of me. And then she start kissing on my neck and, like, nibbling on my ear a little bit. You know, that shit do something to a nigga. So I'm just like, shit. Like, at this point, maybe she is trying to do this shit. Because, you know, when you drunk and all your blood start going to your mans, it's like, you really can't think no more. So I'm like, you sure? Like, you sure? She like, yeah. I mean, I feel like if we do, I gotta get something out of it. I'm thinking to myself, like, something out of it. Like, what do you want out of this? Like, cause I'm not about to eat you on your period. Like, that's fucking disgusting. Like, so what do you want out of this? She like, I mean, I ain't never did nothing like this before, so if I do it, I have to get something out of this. And I'm like, I know she not thinking about money. So she lay there for a little minute. She's still on top of me, and she kind of get closer to my ear, like she about to nipple on it again, and then she just whispered, "What about 2K?" 2K? NBA 2K? Like, you play the game? Like, you just want 2K? No. She was talking about $2,000 for me to hit on her period. 2K to hit bloody P. So I'm just laying there quiet. I'm in the straw. I'm just like, I can't believe she just said that. Like, there's no way she just said that. Like, 2K? She think this a fetish or something? Like, girl, I'm just drunk and horn. Like, this ain't no fetish, man. So she literally just see me, like, still as hell, not saying nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why the fuck would she say 2K? And then it hit me. It's towards the end of the month. This has to be her rent. Because there's no way she just saying a random 2K for no act. Like, 2K for bloody P? No, there's no way. It's had to be for her rent. So I'm laying there and I'm just like, she can tell I'm not fucking with it. So she like roll over and she kind of whispered to me again. She was like, okay, maybe we can do it for 1K. Bro, 1K? Oh my God, like, bro, you must really think I'm a goofy, like, bro, 1K for bloody P. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not hitting you for 1K for no bloody P. Like, what are you talking about? So I'm just thinking about something laying there. I'm still quiet. And she was like, I think she thought I said something because out of nowhere she was like, okay, 1K cool. Let's shake on it. Hey, bro, I can't make this shit up. Bro, she told me, she said, let's shake on it. Like, shake? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Bro, I literally was just like, alright, man, like, I'm out of here, man. I'm just going, you feel me? I'm just going to catch you later, man. I just got up out of there, man. And that's just one of the single mothers that asked me for some pay. But if y'all fuck with this, I'm going to tell you another story about a single mama that asked me for $2,600. Oh my God, bro. This Atlanta shit, man. This shit is sick. Y'all tune in, man. If y'all fuck with this, man, I got an even better story for y'all, man. This shit crazy, man. Y'all be safe.
I literally just hopped out of a moving car because I was on the date from hell. Okay, like when I tell you I didn't even wait for this man to pull over, he was over an hour late for our date. Over an hour late to our date. I should have known then to just cancel the shit because you're not respecting my time. However, I overlooked it because I'm like, oh my God, I've known this person since high school, you know, and he's communicating with me, letting me know like, hey, I'm going to be, you know, this amount of minutes late. Like, you know, he's calling me, texting me, letting me know what's up because there's traffic. You know, we live here in LA, shit happens. He's coming off work, whatever. So I was cool with it. I was like, all right, cool. You're being communicative. Like, I'll still continue the date. He comes to pick me up over an hour late. And when I get in the car, we hug. Hey, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Like, you know, good to see you. Right. And then I let him know like, hey, like you're an hour late. Like next time, like, please don't show up so late because like, I won't like go on a date. Like I was being firm. I wasn't being a bitch. I wasn't being condescending. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't being aggressive. None of that shit. I was just letting him know like, hey, I'm a very punctual person. My time is valuable to me. And if you're going to tell me you're going to be here at 6 o'clock, don't show up past 6. Okay, don't show up at especially 7 o'clock an hour later. And do you know that this man turned his car around? It's like, I'm taking you back home. Like, who do you think you are telling me that I can't be late picking you up to a date? I drove 30 minutes to pick you up and I paid for these tickets and blah, 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 blah. And who do you think you are? Who the fuck do I think I am, sir? Like, this is why they warn you, don't ever date the person that has chased you for a long time, that has wanted you for a long time, because they're usually crazy. I jumped out of a halfway moving car tonight because I could not get away from this man fast enough. And I left his door wide the fuck open and he like busts a bitch in the middle of the street and like peels off. What the fuck is wrong with you, men? Are you seriously mad because someone told you don't be an hour late to picking them up? The woman that you've been chasing for over 20 years finally gives you the time of day. I feel like this is one of those moments where he had it in his mind the whole time to play in my face because he wanted to get back at me from 20 years ago or something. Now, mind you, this is not an ex. I've never done anything to this man. I've never slept with him, never kissed him, never like curved him in any type of way, never played with this man's emotions. But I feel like because he didn't have access to me for over 20 years, when he finally got the opportunity, he wanted to like show me who's boss. Okay.
I almost got murdered today, and this is what happened. I matched with this guy on Bumble. We talk, like, exchange a few messages back and forth, and then we switched to WhatsApp. We decided to go on a date, so he planned one for today. When I asked him to send me what bar we're going to, he sent me a postcode, and he was like, meet here. So I Googled the postcode, and I put on maps, and it was like flats. There was like a residential street. So I was like, what is this? I don't want to meet here. Like, can we just meet at the bar? No, he was like, no, just meet me here. We can walk together. And I was like, can I just please meet you at the bar? And again, he was just like, just meet me here. Obviously, I was still going to go to the bar. He eventually told me the bar's name. And I am coming, well, I was supposed to be in the office today, so I would have been coming from wherever my office is. And he chose a place that's like an hour away by tube. And it's a Tuesday, so I didn't really want to do that. I was like, that's too far. I don't want to be back late and then end up having to take like a really expensive Uber back to my house. And he was like, it's not far at all. Like, just walk across the bridge and then you can tube. It's one stop, which it wasn't. It would still take me about an hour to get there. So I was like, no, can we just meet somewhere in the middle, so that we can both travel? It's not just like, I don't know, it's because he lives in that area that he wanted to do that he chose the bar in. He was adamant on not changing the location, and he was just like, why are you making such a big deal out of it? It's not a big deal. The Uber's not expensive. He like looked up the price, and he was like, it's only £15, which it would not be, because from my house to like the bar by Uber would be like probably £30, especially late at night. There was a bit of back and forth, and then I was like, okay, you know what, let's just reschedule for a different day, because this is obviously like not working, and now we're just like in a bit of a fight, so it's just weird and awkward, and maybe we shouldn't even go on a date. I didn't say that part. But anyways, he was like, well, I can't now because I've had to put my credit card down, and they're gonna charge me if I cancel the reservation because it's less than 24 hours. I went onto the website of the bar and I clicked reserve a table. You did not have to put your credit card down. I could easily you just have to fill out your name, and that's it. And something told me to reverse image search his pictures, and I used this website. It's called facecheck.id, and it basically is like reverse image search for social profiles and stuff. I put his picture in there, and it comes up with this like fitness gym model based in Germany. I live in London. So I was like, okay. And it had a completely different name. And all the pictures that were on his profile were taken from that person's profile. So at that point, I was like, okay, what the hell? So he wanted to meet me at this random postcode, not the bar. Random postcode, looked like a residential street. I'm assuming it was his place. He was adamant on not changing the location. He specifically wanted to meet there, and he would not meet me halfway. He lied about the credit card, putting it down. And then he's not even real. So I don't know what the intention was. I don't know what would have happened if I went. And it's supposed to be in a few hours. So I obviously have not done anything. I screenshotted the profile, the fitness model's Instagram, and I sent it to him. But now I'm really scared, actually, so I reported him on Bumble. I'm gonna block him on WhatsApp before he even responds, because I don't know what would have happened, but everything is just like alarm bells. And I'm pretty sure that would have been the last day that I was seen alive. So yeah, that is how I almost got killed.